Morning, guys. As you can see, I am here right on the side of a road. Pretty major highway as well. This is one of the main entrances going into the park. It's about 7 o'clock. I woke up about 6:30. Trucks are just passing by right next to me, and I can't get to sleep with that. I still want to see El Cap. That's one thing I didn't make my way to yet. Inspiration Point from the tunnel view, which is the entrance from 40. So right now I'm on 140. Let's go into the park again. Well, I'm re-entering the valley here, and I seem to have a pretty nice view of El Cap. Let's take a look. Can you believe that people climb that, just vertical wall? Some people free climb it, that's crazy. I just found a spot to pull off, little picnic area, which is perfect because I'll have breakfast here as well. Picnic tables right here. Great view of the sun coming in on the valley as well. So just before I get moving today, I just wanted to go into detail about why I got kicked out of Yosemite National Park yesterday. When I got into the valley, I got a backpacking permit to hike up to Yosemite Falls. After getting that permit, decided, take the permit, use that for the ability to overnight park 2 officers. So they stopped and got out and looked at my vehicle, banged on my freaking window. Park ranger, open up. And I'm like trying to get dressed and stuff. I'm like, hold on. They asked me to exit my vehicle. They told me, to step to the side while they searched my vehicle. At that point, I said, why are you searching my vehicle? I don't give you consent to search. They said they can technically search my property if they have reasonable cause of me poaching or anything like that. You're not allowed to bring firearms into the park. So, I didn't want to argue with them, and I don't have anything illegal in here. So I said, fine, go ahead and search it. The guy was trying to talk to me. So what are you doing? I see you from Minnesota. Why are you here? And got a chance to tell him about my trip, and he was pretty friendly. The female officer was just really standoffish and rude. After she spent about, 10 minutes searching the Jeep, she pretty much gave up after that and said, you know what? I'm not going to waste your time anymore. All the food that I have in here and stuff. Sounds like whether, you're RVing or not, you do have to take your food out of your vehicle for bear safety. She let me off. She could have given me a citation. I think it's actually a fine as well. A fine and or time in prison. So if I was really pushy, I'm sure they would have tried to enforce, every little bit of the law that they could. They ended up giving me advice on where I can park for the night, go and get some shut-eye, and then come back into the park. I don't want to downplay their job and their role, which is essential in the national parks. It's their job to protect this park by making sure that people aren't abusing the land and people aren't just parking wherever they want. Sleeping in my vehicle overnight, whether it is okay to overnight park in that area or not, is illegal in the national parks. Just got to take this as a lesson learned. I'm gonna have a breakfast taco. Bacon, eggs, cheese, all wrapped up. Oh, with hash browns, all wrapped up in a taco. Tonight, as far as where I'm gonna camp, I'm gonna have to drive outside of the park. I really wanted to do Glacier Point today and Mariposa Grove tomorrow. Just posted a video and some photos of my time spent in Olympia with Erin, and I really just wanted to express, she's not the only one that's really helped me out and offered me a place to stay, and that's a huge thing. Usually when I get a place to stay, I get Wi-Fi, I get electricity, I get a shower, I can refill my water, wash out my water jugs, not to mention a good night's rest, and sometimes even a good meal. That's actually a big deal. That's a huge help to those of us that are living on the road. Here's my last drive through the valley. I'm gonna go and pick up some ice. Yosemite Valley. Here's a little bit of a better look, close up of El Cap, El Capitan, Capaflamingo. This is the view that I did not see coming into the park, because the way that I came in, there's 3 different entrances into the valley, and this is the south entrance. That's El Cap, that's Half Dome, I've been driving about 5 to 10 minutes outside of the tunnel that brings you into the valley. Definitely from this year you can smell it. It smells like fire still. I really gotta thank the fire crew, fire department, volunteers, everyone that's helped out. So I made a pit stop at Washburn Point before I get to Glacier Point. Here's a good view of Nevada Falls and Vernal Falls right down there. If you saw my video from yesterday, I hiked to Sierra Point, which is kind of like a hidden, unmaintained trail. Sierra Point is right up over there, actually. Obviously, that's Half Dome right there. The Native Americans had a word for Half Dome, and I forget what the word was, but basically it meant young woman with tears running down her face. That is the majestic Yosemite Hotel down in the valley.
Da hinten, ja. Fixest da links kommt das Wasser runter. Ja, aber gut, dass wir sie dir nicht angeschaut haben. Da muss ich was gar nicht zurück.
I'm leaving Yosemite Valley area. I'm heading down to Mariposa Grove, which is giant sequoias, still within Yosemite. I've never felt more at home than I did when entering the valley. So much that I learned about Yosemite that I did not know before. Before national parks or any land was federally protected, Yosemite was actually set aside as protected land by Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. And it was the first time anything like that had ever happened. It was in the 1860s, if I remember right. A big part of that apparently was because of the giant sequoia trees in Mariposa. The Sierras are actually still rising 1 foot every 1,000 years. Over here checking out the wagons in the historical part of Wawona, 1907. It's an 11-passenger stagecoach. There's a lot of them under this roof here. A lot of different styles. That one says in 1918 it was built. Spring wagon, 8-passenger, mosquito wagon, China cart. Just window peeking here, creeping outside of this cabin. A cabin built by a man who went by the name of George Anderson. Let's window peek on this one. All right, George. This one is an old homestead cabin that was built in the high Sierras. Sounds like it was a sheep farmer's cabin. So this one is one of the original Ranger Patrol cabins from 1913. In materials, it cost about $300 to build, and labor about $650. Oh, they were living like kings. Yeah, when the park was first established, as you can imagine, there were a lot of land disputes. Because at first it was a state park, and the state was not very successful at getting rid of all the sheep farmers that were in the high Sierras. People wanted them out of there to protect the water quality. And finally in 1906, the state ceded this land to the federal government to make it national. Freaking professional. So this one is an old jailhouse, apparently. A crappy one at that, it sounds like. People were escaping. Well, I am parked at Goat Meadow Snowplay Mountain. It is part of a national forest, so I am legal. I checked to park here overnight. We're all good there. Huge parking lot. I got 2 other people boondocking on the total other side of the parking lot, which I can deal with that, you know, if there aren't screaming kids or anything. I'm about 3 or 4 minutes away from Mariposa Grove. Yeah, I'll have a good night tonight. I'm gonna kind of relax a little bit. It's about 6 o'clock right now. I better get supper started. Usually takes about 45 minutes or so to cook. And I'll get my bed all set up. I'll definitely go to sleep early tonight since I only got about 4 hours last night.